everybody. It's Hump Day. Welcome to the Psychic News Network. So far, so good. Mercury goes direct on Monday. Nice to see you. I'm glad that you're here. I'm always glad that you're here. I did a little video from The Rock, the famous Rock, a couple hours ago. So I hope that you caught that. The reading from The Rock was actually kind of positive. So let's go with that. Let's start there. Let's start with the reading from The Rock was pretty positive. So it is Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. It's actually Hiroshima Day. I don't know how many years. Would it be 80 years? No. Yeah, I think so. So let's really keep in our minds that we stop the proliferation of nuclear weapons on our planet. Your least favorite Superman actor, Dean Cain, just joined ICE. Yeah, so you never liked him anyway, yeah. So we'll keep the vibe up. What we really need to have happen in this country is that this entire fascist regime is ousted. That's really what we have to have happen. And it will happen in it will kind of happen in stages initially. So what we're seeing with the Democratic governors is inspiring. And please do the meditation. I might do another one too. The short meditation, it's 5 minutes to send vibes to the Texas Democrats. Let's all be in the awareness that this is their test. They're testing the waters to see how far they can get. Because if they gerrymander Texas to ensure that the Republicans have dominion over each and every one of our lives, then that's what they plan for the whole entire country. And it's not going to work. Saturday, August 9th is Nagasaki Day. Today's Hiroshima Day, right, Darren? So really, when I'm out in the world, I am very aware that so many people don't know what's going on. They're completely oblivious to what's going on. And it makes me recognize the importance of us. So all the people that watch Midas Touch, they have like 5 million subscribers now. All the people that watch my teensy weensy little channel, which I have my theory about why my viewership is so low and I'm not made visible or suggested to people on YouTube to watch. I think it was the Kamala stuff. I think it was partly that. But anyway, all of us together, all the people that subscribe to the pro-democracy channels, all the people that are in Indivisible and 5051, the Democracy Docket, all the various, Simon Rosenberg, there are a lot of people. And we don't need the entire population to reach the tipping point of where this whole thing goes over. What I'm seeing in the party of what is Ben Meiselas calls it now, the something of pedos, a group of pedos or something. Anyway, it's disgusting. What I really know is that we have the power and that we're winning. And that's why these MAGAs in our Congress, they're being tossed every which way. They don't know which way is up. Okay? And we feel that way too, but let's not let that get to us too much. Let's not lose our bearings. We'll get into the reading in a moment. I just want to mention that this is really true. If I didn't have a meditation practice that I do twice a day, I'm not sure how I would be coping. And I'm just telling you that to suggest that you because this is a very stressful time. So, download Miracle of Mind or find other ways to meditate, other apps for meditation. But as far as handling this energy, if we're not doing that, we're doing ourselves a huge disservice. So it might be different for different people, but every time I come out of my meditation, I'm like, okay, let's go, right? So that's a really helpful tool. The lecture storm saying, I am coping showing up here every time. Yeah, thank you. We have a really awesome, beautiful, loving, kind, compassionate group here. The beautiful thing, too, is a lot of you watch Church of Spirituality. So not only do we have like these PNNs that we do together 3 times a week, but we're pretty bonded spiritually in prayer and intention every Sunday. And that's been going on 5 years now. So we have the strength here. We have the power. Hear us roar. The reading that I did a couple hours ago from The Rock was indicated that, and if you watched it, you might remember this. It was just a short one. When I read on Dumpy, I got the Emperor and I got the Death card side by side. And I got the Five of Pentacles. So this regime for him is ending. You do your 12 p.m. get rid of Trump intentions. Yeah. If you want to receive those, I have a whole list of declarations of what we want to see happen, and a bunch of us are doing that at noon every day. If you miss a day, don't worry about it. Just do it when you can. It's like 8 items that we want to see happen. So let's go to the cards. It's getting a little humid here. Let's go to the cards and let's see how the Texas Democrats are faring. What cards are in here? Oh, I have the Deviant Moon cards. I was wondering where those went. Let's use positive cards. Let's use the B Tarot for the Democrats. I'm so grateful that StreamYard is working tonight. That was so frustrating the other night. Trump on a roof, right? There's a really good punchline somewhere about Trump being on a roof. I'm telling you, but I haven't thought it up yet. Has anybody heard any Trump on a roof jokes? Hang on, I'm looking for my glasses. Three cards for the Democrats. Yes, thank you for putting my P.O. box up, Warren, for donations. Thank you, I appreciate it. I haven't seen Warren in the chat very much, but he's less chatty these days. 3 cards about the Democrats. Hopefully I can read them because I threw my glasses somewhere. We have the 7 of Pentacles. The letters are so small. The 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so let me tell you what this is. I'm reading about the Democrats. The Texas Democrats. Yes, you've been MIA, Warren. Where you been? It's noticed, you know. We care. I think you're moving, right? Pumpkin on a roof. I like that. The 8 of Pentacles means that the Democrats they're really working hard. And let me tell you something about the 8 of Pentacles. Not only are they working hard, but they're into it. They're enjoying themselves in terms of like they're on the right side of history. And not only are these Texas Democrats and all the Democrats on the right side of history, the American people that are paying attention are backing them. And that's what's freaking out Abbott. Let me pause to say something about Greg Abbott. Just because. When I think about these, you know, Dumpy and all these people, we could have fun with this. When we think about all these people, to me, each one of them resembles some kind of usually a reptile. All right, let's start a game. Tell me if you think that Greg Abbott looks like a rodent. I'm not being mean. I'm actually asking you a serious question. He has a face that looks like a rat. Because he is a rat. Once again, I'm not being insulting intentionally. But Greg Abbott has these beady black eyes. Does anyone notice this, or is it just me? He has rat eyes, right, Damon? Damon's here too. I haven't seen you in a while. To all the people that I haven't seen in a while, welcome. Maybe you just haven't been chatting, you've been lurking. Yeah. So Greg Abbott's eyes, they're like rat eyes. And Donald looks like a Komodo dragon. You know those big lizards? I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Right? What does MAGA Mike look like? Oh yeah, Abbott, he looks like... I was looking at him the other day and I was like, what does he remind me of? And he's got those beady black eyes and they're like all black. It's spooky. Anyway, meanwhile, back to the Democrats. A mouse? More of a rat to me. The 7 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. So the 7 of Pentacles means for the Democrats, it's a lot of hard work, but it's hard work that they're enjoying. It always reminds me of Kamala, who said, it's going to be hard work, but we like hard work. The orange felon has chicken eyes. Don't you think he looks like a Komodo dragon lizard? Do you know what I mean? And the 5 of jars. So the Democrats, it's sad, but they're willing to do the work. And the more we support them, the better off we'll all be. There was a huge protest in Texas protesting the gerrymandering, Annette Serrano saying. Yeah, the people are rising up. And remember, those of you who have been with me for a while, and thank you, remember that whenever I ask my guides, and even my dad on the other side, because I do converse with him, Dad, we going to be okay? You can ask your loved ones on the other side too. And I heard it clearly. The people will turn this around. So, Abbott has cockroach eyes. Okay, what kind of animal does MAGA Mike Johnson look like? Ready, go. MAGA Mike. Let's read on him. Anyway, it looks good for the Democrats because they're willing to do the work. And it's just like, sometimes I talk about running a road race, you know, as a comparison to what we're going on, what's going on here and what we're dealing with. And when you're in some kind of sports event or competition, when you have people cheering you on, it can make you keep going. So we need to cheer these Democrats on. MAGA Mike looks like a weasel. Yeah, he does look like a weasel. Yeah. Or like one of those, what are those gophers? That he looks a little like a gopher. He looks like who? Lester the molester. I don't have my glasses, so it's like I can't screen before I read it. Anyway. Let's do this. All right. So the Texas Democrats are about 45 minutes down the road from where I live, so I know there was a crowd gathered around them, and I don't know how long they'll be here, but I'd like to go meet them. I really would. And okay, 3 cards about Let's pull 3 cards about Kamala. Manga Mike looks like your Christmas elf on the shelf. Yeah, he definitely, he has this imp, he has an impy kind of look. It's not an animal, but Kamala Harris. 6 of Wands. 7 of Wands. This is challenging. 6 of Wands. 7 of Wands. I'll put them up. Princess of Jars. I do feel that Kamala Harris is going to make sure the victims of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell have their day in court. And I do feel like she's on that too. She's not just sitting there doing nothing. So yeah, 7 of Wands, 6 of Wands. Yeah, she's really working hard. She's really working hard. She's doing a lot. Damon said, I wouldn't leave my little nephew around him, that's for sure, around Dumpy. I know, really? Really, and he's in charge of this country? Let's read on Dumpy and why he was on the roof. Trump looks like someone to keep your kids away from. Yes, he definitely, well, clearly he is. Why is Vance having a private dinner to talk about the Epstein case and how to handle it without Trump being there? I thought Trump was going to be there. Can you check that? Is Trump going to be at that, is that dinner tonight? I get that Trump is going to be there. I don't know. We'll see. Does anybody know? MAGA Mike is the guardian of perverts. Well, let's read on him. The Deviant Moon cards. Hang on 1 second, because I texted Kathy to see if we're, to confirm a show this week. Let me just see what we have here. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, we're doing a show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. But she's just sent me, this. This is interesting. This headline. Vance meeting to discuss Epstein fallout canceled. Breaking news! So he might be talking to Trump. Okay, so why do you even know about this dinner if it's supposed to be private? Well, we know they have private dinners. How about the one that Dumpy had with all his mega billionaires where he grifted away? Oh, Cheryl, you're so sweet. Thank you. Kathy just sent me this. Jade, Vance meeting to discuss Epstein fallout canceled. Dumpy couldn't find the meeting. All right. Actually, we're pulling 3 cards to see why was Dumpy on the roof? I feel like I read on this. Was he on the roof yesterday or the day before? Well, let's ask this. Let's go back to the meeting question. Let's do that. Let's go back to the meeting question. Was it really canceled? Yeah, it was really canceled. So he was up there on the roof and he's wandering around, and all I kept thinking when I saw that, I couldn't stop thinking, can you imagine if Biden did that? I can't imagine Biden doing that, let me be clear. But something like that would have been on all over right-wing extremist media and it would have been up for a year, right? The dinner has been canceled. Yes, I was just I just got your text and we were asking about it, and then there was your, it was like very synchronistic there, Kathy. The dinner has been canceled. So I'll read on that too. Um, and do confirm, Kathy, that we have a show tomorrow at 3, because I don't think you answered me. Am I confirming that with you? Let's make an announcement. Let's do a commercial. Okay, why was he on the roof? So what? Before I read the cards, I immediately got that he was high. I felt like that Dumpy was high on something, and I felt like he does a lot of speedy pharmaceuticals. And I feel like he's been doing, this is my sense, this is my psychic impression. I feel like he's been given higher doses of the speedy pharmaceuticals. And if you do that much, just because, he needs to stay alert, and I don't think he sleeps at night. Yeah, but he was high, not just high up, but he was high on some kind of speed. And that was my immediate impression. Yeah, where's Jake Tapper, right? About this. I know, we should write to Jake Tapper and say, okay, what about this? You know what? And I felt like he was fidgety, that he just got fidgety and he had to do something, so he went up to the roof. If it was Biden, Jake Tapper and Faux News's collective heads would have exploded, absolutely. And I'm sure they wouldn't. First off, we know Biden would never do that, but yeah, they wouldn't. It would have been the only news for about a year. So apparently people were below looking up at him, and I think some bystanders were shouting, "Jump, jump!" Marie's asking the question: Is Maxwell safe in her country club prison because anyone can get in? I'll read on that. Why Dumpy was on the roof? He's really going through so many challenges. I've been getting this card. This is a 5 of Wands. This is like, oh my gosh, there's so many challenges, so many challenges. King of Pentacles. It feels like somebody said something to him that upset him, and he was kind of escaping, right? Dumpy heard someone say that his brain isn't going to the top floor. He took it as an invitation to go to the top floor. That's pretty good. And that wasn't even a dad joke. Too much Adderall, Cheryl's saying. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like they've amped it up. They've amped it up. And, okay, so there are things that defy coincidence, that happen too often to be coincidence. Every single day for the past several days, when I read on Dumpy, I get the 4 of Swords. And that is pointing to terrible, terrible, terrible health. Terrible health. But I feel like he was all fidgety and antsy, and he went up to the roof because somebody told him something that really upset him. And the 5 of Wands is very, very challenged. I think he's at the stage of dementia where he's feeling very nervous and very scared, because it's a horrible thing. I'm sure it's a horrible thing when somebody has dementia, when they start to realize that they're losing their faculties. And I think there's an aspect of this that he's just needing to escape, right? It's kind of like when you're really upset and you have to just go away, just go for a walk or go for a bike ride or go for a drive, right? It kind of feels like that a little bit. Another psychic said there will be a passing in the Senate. Can I read time frame on that? I'm not really feeling that right now. Sorry. I just answer questions that I feel like, you know, the guides have something. So, nothing personal. He's been sniffing a lot more. Dumpy has been sniffing a lot more. Do I think JD Vance and Teal, you're saying, are planning Dumpy's downfall and how to get rid of him so that they could put Vance in his place? Yeah, absolutely. I've read on that before. I've mentioned that before. Yeah, they're trying to figure out, Vance and Teal are trying to figure out how to get, I think we were talking about that on Monday, how to get Dumpy out of there. So, as far as why he was on the roof, he's just going out of his mind. Yep. Please hit the thumbs up, and when we have 200 thumbs up, we'll do a group hug, but the math isn't mathing because we don't have 200 people in the house. Wednesday nights are very lightly attended. I need your help, people. I need your help. I can't do this all by myself. Share my vids. Tell your friends they need to lighten up. Come join us. Remember that song, The Roof, the Roof, the Roof is on Fire? No, I don't. Don't know that one. Let's read on Elon. Remember the other day we were asking, you know, where's Elon, right? Because Elon disappeared. And then I mentioned this before, if you caught it. I said that I wanted to read on Elon, and I actually said I'd read on him tonight. Because we hadn't heard from him. And then lo and behold, he emerges. He emerged after I had said, I was telling Kathy this. Elon emerged after I had given the impression that he was being severely pressured by someone who was kind of blackmailing him in a way. And so lo and behold, Elon turns around, and I think he said he was going to help Dumpy monetarily. I don't know. I mean, he's not, I don't know monetarily with what. Yeah, so, oh, here's my glasses. They're right in front of me. So, did anyone hear that? The Elon came back on the scene and he offered to help Dumpy? It's so complicated. Let's pull 3 cards about him. This is about Elon. 8 of Pentacles. Man, I often get that somebody has a lot of dirt on Elon and they can't wait. This is the 8 of Pentacles. They cannot wait to reveal it. Let's ask if it's anonymous. Who has all this info on Elon? Is it anonymous? Is that the source? That's not the source. Okay. Not all the anonymouses are the same source. I mean, there's a bunch of them out there. You kind of have to sift through. So, oh yeah, okay, so Elon's emotions are over the top. And now he's gotten himself into a role where he's needing to be subservient to Dumpy. I really get that he was blackmailed. It's getting hot in here. Damon liked that song. Yeah. That's a good one. The two of Wands. Yeah, Elon's having trouble, you know, figuring out what's gonna benefit him the most. Nanette's saying Biden with the question mark. What about Biden? It's like, yeah, we can read on Kamala's book. As far as Elon goes, I'm not really sure. I have to look into it further. What it was, I feel like someone was really, really pressuring him to get back on board with something or else. But it felt like his companies. Oh, well, that would make sense because he has government contracts. Okay, that makes sense. That's what that is. Yes, Damon, I think somewhere along the line I danced to the "It's Getting Hot in Here," right? Yeah, local bars. Okay, so you heard that Elon gave Dumpy just 5 million? I feel like I'm in the Austin Powers movie. $1 million, or I'll take over the world. Just 5 million? All right, let me pull 3 cards about, not necessarily about Ghislaine Maxwell, but about the effect of what he's doing. Did he pardon her? You know that's the plan. Okay, so Angela heard that Elon gave Dumpy 15 million for all the contracts he gave him. Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. But I felt like there was a lot of pressure there. A lot of pressure. Definitely had to do with money and contracts. Like Elon would be screwed if he didn't do Dumpy's bidding. Okay, so I'm gonna read on the whole. Okay. So like, it's crazy. No pardon yet. Okay, it's crazy. For 10 years now, all we have seen is he didn't do any of these crimes. Didn't do it. So when he's presented with the threat of being, investigated, Dumpy, every single time without fail, every time, he turns it around and says, it's a hoax. I know I'm telling you something that you already know, but it's pretty bizarre. And so now it's basically like this. Hear me out. So it's basically this. When he's when he feels threatened because there's evidence of criminal behavior that he knows he would be in trouble for, he immediately gets to work covering it up. That's how he deals with his crimes. And it's like if you were in trouble with the law, right? And you just started screaming, hoax, 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 hoax. And they're the ones that did it, not me, right? Yeah, there was a bomb threat at the hotel where Texas Democrats are staying. You believe it was in Illinois? Yes, it was. So what's going to happen due to the fact that he's guilty? He's just guilty. It's like, you don't try to hide things if you're not guilty. It's really amazing that we're still here in this country, in this place. Yeah, and here it is. Everything's going to be revealed. Everything's going to be revealed. It's actually, we don't want Ghislaine Maxwell the monster to be released from prison. But this puts a spotlight on how horrible that Dumpy is. And I know that the American people, this is MAGAs included, well, this is going to push them over the edge. Yeah, there's a lot of info out there already. I keep saying that. Yeah, there's so much. The seagulls agree, right? There's so much out there. The son is like, he's not going to be able to hide. And I see the women winning. And last week when I read on this, what was going on with the whole Epstein-Ghislaine thing, I actually saw that at a certain point, the women were going to really get powerful. Really powerful. And the Five of Cups is like, yeah, it's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing what he's done. But this is the card of celebration, so I'm seeing justice. Sunlight exposing the darkness. Yeah, he's been in the daily conversation for over a decade now. Enough. Well, you know, we are where we are. Oh, guess what? I have tea leaves. Michelle, you're right. I've always seen women taking him down. It's taken freaking forever. Will the January 6th pardon be reversed? For some reason, I get the sense that by the time we get there, that the question is, will the January 6th pardon be reversed? Since Dumpy is not really the president. Um, for some reason, I have like a fading effect on that. Yeah, there'll be some very, very determined women. Yes, tea leaves. It's been a long time. I don't think we're gonna get to 200 thumbs up because we only have 159 in the room. Sorry. Might happen at the last minute. A lot more men are siding with the women, and what you're gonna see too is you're gonna see fathers of daughters livid. Livid. Is anyone also concerned about the scientist brain drain? Lots of scientists are leaving for Europe. Oh, we're in deep doo-doo. The seagulls want some tea. I mean, like we come here to lift the vibration up. I mean, Canada's cutting us off completely. I'm glad that they say, you know, it's about Trump. They don't really say, because Canadians are polite, right? There must be fresh fish about. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Seagulls get really loud. So Charlie Angus, and Canada, we're cut off. And I heard too they shut down the throughway from Alaska to Canada. I heard that too. So all these tariffs. Let's read on the tariffs. Let's read on the tariffs. Yeah, they're cutting off America. They're cutting off America, and Canada has recognized Palestine as a state, and Dumpy wants nothing to do with it because he's in bed with Netanyahu. I mean, whenever you think that, well, oh, why are we going through this? Why are we going through this? We really can't do that because it could be so much worse. So the tariffs. The 9 of swords. Oh, people are going to be so upset about these tariffs. The American people are going to be so upset. And they're going to want normalcy back in America. This will get us to the tipping point in America. This will get us to the tipping point, these tariffs. And I get a sense that it's going to happen really suddenly. Suddenly you'll go to get groceries and it'll be double, triple what you're used to paying. And that's when everybody stands up. That's when everybody, the Ace of Pentacles. This is like a target in the sense that it could be a target. It could be that Dumpy gets targeted for being the cause. Can you imagine grocery prices 3 times what they are now? Because that's what I'm seeing. It's already triple. Let's see how much farther it goes. Back during the Great Depression, there was a woman. I'm trying to think of who wrote the book. There's a book that came out it was called How to Cook a Wolf. I have that book somewhere. How to Cook a Wolf. And it was during the Great Depression, and it was how to stretch like a potato and your eggs, and like how to stretch things, right? So we're going to have to be real resourceful. People in the chat are like, we want the bottle drop. That's the sound that used to be at my old office. I've heard a bottle drop here. Yeah, being in the this is a restaurant district, just like it was there. Let's first see. This grocery prices doubling and tripling. That's what's gonna do it. That's what's gonna do it. That's what's gonna do it. Okay, so as grocery prices in general, will they double? Well, grocery prices, I'm getting that they'll triple. Yeah. Your cousin came back from Canada and got detained for 3 hours for nothing. Yeah, it's awful. It's just awful. So I get that grocery prices are going to increase by 3 times. This is a really good time to have a garden. I just came from the farmer's market earlier. I told you guys about that last week. The farmer's market here on Wednesday, that the community there's a nonprofit organization called Backyard Growers, and you can get a little plot of land and you can grow your own vegetables. And the kids are very involved, and it's great. So get your garden going. I think it might not be too late for some things, like herbs. Your tofu is now $2. That doesn't seem like a lot to me. Piers Morgan has been confronting a lot of these who? Hang on. Piers Morgan has been confronting a lot of these Israeli ministers in regards to all the people that are being starved and no news journals are allowed to report. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And I'm surprised that Piers Morgan has grown a conscience, because he's a weirdo. Let's see. There's a big full moon coming up. We'll talk to Kathy about that tomorrow. On Saturday, I just want you all to know that I'm feeling really good vibes, and I know that might sound like, what's wrong with your head? But I feel like something really good is going to happen. I don't know what. We'll figure it out when we get closer. Getting the tea leaves ready. I went grocery shopping today, and everything is $2 more than 2 weeks ago. Yes. Let's ask when will we see grocery prices triple? Will it be this month? Grocery prices will go up by 3 times. Will it be next month? Next month. We're going to have to really start helping each other. Yeah. Maybe there's a greenhouse where you live. Maybe you can grow some stuff in a greenhouse. Wow. That is going to do it. Somebody asked how Kamala's book is going to do. So glad I found my glasses. And her book comes out September 23rd, I believe. Keep your eye on September 14th. This doesn't happen to me very often, but the other day my guides just said September 14th. That's so... Mark your calendar. Something. How's Kamala's book going to do? And it seemed to have to do with Kamala. I heard it was the 23rd. Is that right? And there are a couple eclipses coming up in September, I believe. Yeah, there are. How's her book going to do? Okay, so this is about people, it's really, how when you have something really, 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 really on your mind and you wish people were talking about it, and then all of a sudden somebody's talking about it and you're like, hey, let's sit down and have a beer. We needed to have a conversation. That's what her book is going to feel like. It's going to feel like, oh, wow, we've been wanting to hear this. We've been wanting to hear these stories. So there's that with her book. So I got that it would be really popular, and the strength card is coming up. The other day I read on how her book was going to do, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Diddler on the Roof. I think that wins. I think Diddler on the Roof wins, as gross as that is. Meanwhile, back to Kamala's book. I read on it and I saw that it will be on the bestseller list for at least 4 weeks. Top of the bestseller list. And the Strength card is there. And the King of Wands is here. Who's that? Who's the King of Wands? Kind of feeling like it's Doug. I kind of feel like it's her husband. Really supporting her and really being there for her. Maybe he's going to be on some of the book tours. It's good. It feels really positive. So let's ask this. Let's ask, because I do feel good things coming this week. And there's a lot that's going to happen this week. And, you know, we're just midway into the week. But over the next 7 days. I want to ask about timelines. Okay, so is the Texas, is Greg Abbott going to fail? Is he going to fail? Is that what, yeah, he's going to fail. Yippee! He's going to fail. You guys don't have to fast. What are you doing? Like, you don't have to be that extreme. You'll be okay. There's lots of things that you can eat that aren't expensive. You can become a vegetarian. I feel like I feel like I'm getting a strong yes that Texas is going to fail. Let's read on that. I think I heard through the grapevine that MAGA Mike is caving. All right, let's see. We'll read on that. I'm just going to pull 3 cards about Abbott. I mean, because what they're doing is they're getting all like rogue, like, we're going to go get those Democrats. I was talking about that this afternoon on my pop-up. They think it's a Wild West. They think they can treat people like they're just, you know, they're herd of animals. It's terrible. Not that anyone should treat animals like that, but that's how they are. Oh, yeah. We all can't wait to see Abbott get what's coming to him. So how's he doing? Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, 8 of Swords. Not good for Abbott. And here we are. And and I got this card earlier, too, from a different deck. We're all celebrating because he doesn't get his way. And what I feel about him is he does this thing where he, like, pretends like he behaves as though he got his way when he really didn't. So there you go. Do the meditation. Thank you, Maria, for being a member for 25 months. You've reached the 25th month of membership, and I hope you're taking advantage of all my presentations for members. It's a lifetime worth of spiritual learning on my videos. They're very helpful. Okay, so I have some tea leaves. Is Blue Moon Tea here? Is she here? She sent me some tea. And I'm using her tea leaves now. Yeah, it's been a while since we've read tea leaves. It's just that it's been hot. And it's actually getting humid here again. It's been really beautiful, but it's feeling really humid right now. So, what have we in the tea leaves? Let's read them together, shall we? we have, this looks like a woman, and it's going into the sun, and that indicates Kamala. And it's kind of like a silhouette, or just kind of not very solid just yet. But this is what we're heading for. And this broom here indicates that around the full moon there's going to be like a sweeping out, a cleaning. And this looks like a little bit like a duck or a pelican. I think we're going to get news about what's going on in Florida, and it's for we might want to read on what DeSatan is doing down there. Boy, he's aptly named. We used to call him DeSatan all the time. I feel like we're going to get some news out of Florida about how much trouble DeSatan is in. As far as he goes, yeah, let's read on DeSatan before we go, because as far as how he's a sadist, and I won't get into it because I want to leave on a positive note. We're not leaving yet, but I just want to make sure that we leave on a positive note. Ron DeSantis shut down the media in Florida around the time of that big hurricane, whatever one it is. How do I brew my coffee? In a drip. Lisa's going to bring me some coffee. When are you coming to Boston? Let me know. Send me an email. He shut Ron DeSantis to fascist is the same thing. DeSantis, I should call him. Ron DeSantis, that's my new name for him. Made sure the media didn't have access to Florida unless they're screened. Does anyone remember that? One of the big hurricanes, and there's been so many I lose track of which one it was. When he had the go-go boots, it was shortly after that. Was it Dorian? And so here's the deal. What he has set up is that the media can't go to I can't even the name of the I can't even say the name of it. So I feel like we're going to get news about what's happening, because he's got to let the representatives in there, but they want notice. How he was allowed to do that was they built it in 8 days. And the environmentalists, the organizations, government there that's supposed to monitor those things, and, the Corps of Engineers and all that, they're livid. So, we are going to hear some, let's see what planet that's around. Jupiter and Venus. We're going to hear some news, and it's not going to be good for him. That's that's a crime against humanity. And we have a cup here, and that looks like a little bit of something to celebrate. There's a little teeny heart there. It's a little bit of something to celebrate. In the astrology is what I pick up. Fun to have tea leaves again. Somebody wants to know if Ghislaine Maxwell is safe where she is. Let's ask. Is she safe where she is? Yeah. Yeah. So we have a convicted felon in the White House who incited a violent insurrection against our country, and people died, and now he's seeking revenge on all the people that he doesn't like. And they're I think it's $40 billion slated for an expansion of ICE so that he can torment all of us. It ain't happening. You believe there's a court case about the concentration camp in the Everglades? Did you ask me a question earlier, Annette? Let's read on usually we end with the tea leaves, but let's ask a couple more questions. Okay. We need to pray for those people, honestly. It's just Yogi Bear's, you're going to 3 burger stores? What? 3 burger stores? Sorry, sometimes the chat just throws me off. By the way, I just want to mention this about what this is doing to our brains. Not my show, but all this chaos is doing to our brains. There's a spiritual technique. I'm not telling you to do it, but there's a spiritual technique where you kind of like, you kind of get your brain all in this kind of a scrambled state. And then the purpose of that is to get your mind into it. I've studied with teachers that would talk gibberish to get our minds kind of messed up and out of their habitual way of thinking. So I was reflecting on that today, and because we all feel like we're in absolute chaos, right? So when you can't figure anything out, you're kind of forced in a way to just say, I don't know, to just kind of surrender. And there's a lot of that we need to do, is to just go like, it's scrambling my brain, I can't figure it out. So you kind of have to let go. That's called a double a double vodka martini. Not for me, maybe for you. So 3 cards about the I'm just gonna pull 3 cards about Ron DeSadist. It's my new name for him. What's his fate? People are telling on him. People are telling on him. And I have the 6 of Wands. He's got a lot of... I wouldn't want to be Ron DeSadist right now because he's got a lot coming at him. A lot coming at him. I actually see him eventually in prison. Okay, let's read on one more thing and then we'll go. What am I leaving out? Oh, I know what I'm leaving out. Tulsi Gabbard. I'm reading on Tulsi Gabbard and how it's going to go for her to dredge up the Russian collusion case from 2016. How it's going to go for Tulsi and Blondie to get a grand jury together to make up some kind of a crime that has to do with Obama fabricating the Russian collusion. There's a full report on this. There's massive investigations that were done. Obama didn't really have anything to do with that. So anyway, let's see how that sham thing is going to go. Oh, thank you, Annette. Please stay. I'm not going anywhere yet. I usually leave at the 1 hour point. All right, so I'm asking Corella DeVille. Yeah, and somebody said one time, it was kind of funny. She looks like she's trying to be Steven Tyler. I don't know what that white streak is all about, but that's a Steven Tyler look. It will be exposed what she's up to. Yeah, and I've gotten this before. She's in trouble internationally. Tulsi Gabbard's activity can be traced directly to the Kremlin. We must never surrender, that's for sure. We're not surrendering. We're amping it up. Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to be Tulsi right now. I could never be Tulsi Gabbard because she's a lying criminal. And here we have she's going to be exposed. So let's ask this. Are they going to go through with this investigating Obama? Talk about desperate. Is it me, or do you guys all see how desperate they are? I didn't think they'd behave this badly. I mean, I'm not surprised, but they're really grasping at straws here for their fabrications. They think they're in Russia. Are they going to go through? I don't get that this is going to go through. Yeah, I read on the gerrymandering already. They're so desperate. Well, she needs to be arrested. Let's see if... Will Tulsi Gabbard be arrested? Yes, she will. I want you all to be in a place where you see that the American people come together. There are a lot of people that are just going to ignore what's going on, but I actually think it's going to get very ramped up and like everybody will be paying attention. I do. More people than you might think are going to be paying attention to what's going on. But I really see the American people turning this around. I want to tell you, I called my representatives today. Please, if it's not too late where you are, you can call your representatives now. Well, I guess it might be fine. Yeah, it might be too late, but call tomorrow. I'm seeing if I can get a meeting with Seth Moulton. I have to gather a couple more people for that. But I'm putting the pressure on because I asked about a town hall because they told me a week or so ago that there'd be a town hall and so I didn't hear about a town hall. So I'm gonna put the pressure on. I called Elizabeth Warren about this taking away the Constitution, parts of the Constitution. I heard that they put them back. So they're just trying to gut our democracy, and we're not going to let them. So you're in Texas and you called and didn't get a call back. It doesn't matter. You don't need for them to call back. They log every single call. Do not feel like it's a waste of time. They want you to feel like it's a waste of time. They log every call. All right, so we didn't get up to 200 people in the house. Wham, wham. Back on Friday for PNN on Friday, also as usual, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I want to tell you that tomorrow night we have a guided meditation for Healed America from 7 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're doing it live. Join us. It's really powerful. We're moving mountains. We just don't know we're moving mountains, but I'm telling you right now, energetically, we're moving mountains here. We might be small, but boy, are we powerful. Really. So thank you for being so powerful. Cheryl saying you can send letters to your representatives. Yeah, or emails too. Okay. See you tomorrow for the guided meditation for Healed America and Off the Ledge, and I'll squeeze in a pop-up at some point. Let's do just a quick bear hug. 1, 2, 3. Bear hug. Yeah, nice, you guys. Okay, we'll see you soon. Namaste. Be good. Book a reading. PsychicConnection.com. Help me out. Help me help you. Bye.